Adesema my mamu nyina jo UTV kase ebo ayensa aka na de ebremo ye de fish house Abeka Junction Accra e na ye to amane mo wo efiefiem ni ba bia wo hwe ye fibia wo betimi ahwe yen e wo Facebook eno eye UTV Ghana sanso e na despite media e wo YouTube se eye DSTV dia na eye channel 360 wo betimi ahwe yen afri ho this way chocolate drink yo hia ye so share. There was special ice mineral water, there was special drinks, there were best point savings and loans, best assurance, and the best pension. Omuye nyumeko masasne ama yede enyumre no nsia ne fakase boyi ebramo ye hwe de edimo akotene ebie.
Amampani na Addo dankwa Ekufuado ena ebie yi watwa ahomam ewo Pokuase se baabi anyinam kanea ye bekora na ya chechede akoma afa na nyina no entumi anya adwuma.
Dr. Clement Apak HSE e wo se etimi ye nhyehyɛ papa bia ye de beto na se aban bi firi so na aban foforo ba project a wogya na kire no wo matimi ato aso aye
sanso na so afo hwe o man sase ne famagudi ho nsam so na abogina po kire se nsase a ye de affordable housing no panifo hwe na wo to ho no man sanso man pani Ekufuado de na koma so pa de o sensase ba na de bi sa dwumadi
Ezu Brantin bi atiagu wo atoye mantem aman ne yi aye kasai enipa bebro wo ha ena ba bi omdo omti betumpo no ayedin ama wo mu
ensem bi ka we mu ho ne asim konwa ase de ebram sanime kasebo ewo UTV so bedin edi Anim Addo menimi ni aba
Akosua Sarpong
Yerikana yeko omampani na Addo dankwa Ekufuado asoye ne ahwe na dwumadi a wadi ewo nkramantamu ewo Pokuase ni nyina ne se baabi a ebekora nyinam kanea na afi ya cheche na akọ oman ntwea ne ntwea so nyina no wakọ akotwa ahomam asabre ebetumi aye adwuma na oman nyinam kanea ho nsem ebetumi akoso yie na sika ewo mu eye $47 million America dollar no eno na amudi sa adwuma nei watwa ahomam adwumadie no ebetumi akoso
Wachese benam so amenyira mahode ne atimi agina na so pa e de ama omanfo a wono esom bese empem ahamiensa ene aduonum 350,000 electricity consumers a wono mo Pokuase ensawam achimota enya so otuom kwabenya ashomman legon hacho agbogba adenta aburi ene ne mpotamu no omo so agina mahode ne atimi agina na so no matimi de aduom dwumadi awodo nyina empenifo twotwowuro ene de achitapa etai na chi ema no de aso ne bofom
the Pokuase bulk supply point at 330/34.5 kilovolt substation designed to improve the supply and distribution of electricity for consumers in the northern areas of Accra and funded by the Millennium Challenge Corporation of the United States of America to the tune of $47 million is testimony to Ghana's commitment to improving electricity supply in this country. The essence of constructing the substation is to improve power supply quality and reliability to some 350,000 existing customers of the Electricity Company of Ghana ECG in Pokuase, Kwabenya, Legon, Nsawam, Achimota, and neighboring communities. The Ekufuado government remains fully committed to ensuring safe, stable, and affordable power supply in this country.
These are long-term investments that will pay dividends for generations. And that is the real beauty of what this grand substation is about. It is about inclusively helping ordinary Ghanaian citizens go about their daily lives with fewer interruptions. Students can study with the lights on in the evening. Store owners' products can last longer and are safer with continuous refrigeration. Drivers can safely navigate illuminated streets at twilight. Babies can sleep peacefully under a treated bed net, I trust. This project keeps the lights on as part of the $316 million MCC Ghana Power Compact, which is just one of the U.S. government's many contributions to a brighter future for Ghana.
The 64.72 million project is now ready. We have many projects in the country where the sword is cut, but you don't see the end of the project. Today we are seeing concrete work on the ground. In the process of the construction, 240 youth, comprising engineers, technicians, office staff, artisans, were employed. These people have benefited from transfer of essential skills, which will be needed as the nation moves its development agenda forward. The delivery of this project also demonstrates an exemplary lesson in local content. Over 90% of the 240 key staff and 15% of those were female. All the 90% were all Ghanaian, with 15% female. Today, my board of directors and me personally are excited to be handing over this valuable infrastructural asset to the good people of Ghana.
Regional Coordinating Councils and Afe District Assembly Abasobodi Adwumadie bi akoso ewo enkramantam ase wo sheda etonsa ede efre Chief of Staff eyo numunyamfo Akosua frema osei opare ema wo ba adwumadie no ase na ne nsem ode etu edwa eno se wode ebeto aswafo ene abankra chempanimfo anim se wo mommo aban sika ho eban na womunyai se womu ajejan ya ama ene sika bebre enwunu eguo no wo se na no auditor general ye nhwehwemu de betu eja no na enuoma ana sika afa ensase no edoso pa na ebre no anie sasa de ne obesi ano ekwan
Sane beye ne nkuro na afei empotempote mamemu nso betimi afa no ntuma pefre ye e wo my Ghana mu wo ni mpuntu esemu nti enom de abasobode adwumade we nyina no ade hyehyɛ so na eno wo kyerɛ sɛ mansini kropon assembly ahodo be se ahanu ne aduosia 260 metropolitan municipal and district assemblies no na afei nso no eye mantem ahodo ni nyina nso a eno nso esom dunsia wo mo asoyafo ahodo ene no nso wo de abasobonsem kɔ ye de ma wo mo eno eye mfiempini ne aduonu edie Kowi echi na jase fra mantem suafo ye water regional minister onumunyamfo Achibad Lester wono ene ye de best regional minister no akọ ede ama no eye mfie ni aduonu edie afen Kranza North Mensi Kropon Assembly no so abankra chepani a owo honom eno no so edi kan ena afen nso no Gam West Mensi Kropon Assembly no so ena eto so mienu Chief of Staff oban munyamfo Akosua fremo so parade abasobonsem koye ede mantem ahodo no wo masoyafo na afen so abankra chempanifo no ehye wo se wo mmomode no mfekta panta Ghana mampani na adranko akufo ado achi oman no so foto no betimi abo ho ban na enkonko ba se omanfo bedi sika nyafonyafo na fe ko wie kire no e de kabo ababija oman no eso.
Use this opportunity to address some concerns of government, especially with the increasing number of audit infractions committed by assemblies captured in the Auditor General's report from year to year. The continuous increase in the number of infractions and financial irregularities is worrying, and the various RCCs and MMDAs must, as a matter of urgency, deal with it. The infractions captured in the report continue to plague the nation's finances, and as public office holders entrusted with the management responsibilities, we must all support the President's desire to protect the public purse.
I've tasked the team to assess the situation and recommend to management possible sanction for application to staff of RCCs and MMDAs that failed to perform. I want to assure all that once the necessary recommendations are made, I will not hesitate to trigger the clause in the contracts for the applications of sanctions against the non-performing RCCs and MMDAs.
The regional coordinating councils and metropolitan municipal district assemblies are required to contribute to the achievement of this vision, and they cannot afford to disappoint the citizenry in the delivery of services at the local level. It therefore behooves on us as key state actors at the local government level to effectively and professionally discharge our duties focusing on improved service delivery.
But I need some so there are some Cassian Abatomiso. It's answer some yen near chain near my ye. And you're easy because Usha, Magino, and Shadow North Visa, and yes will be 99 and will be 80, and the difference. No, it was a 0.1, 0. something. It's a anemia. Be as I say, be a bit to me as an acquaintance because it says a more second year. Now, as me recommend number first. Oh, they should expect more rules, schools. I mean, have maybe all the corners because we are already.
Yɛto asɛm no so na yakɔfra mantemu na ekudu aflawa ɛhɔ ɛna ɔhenimpɔn a ɔhɔ a ɔhwɛ traditional area no so tɔgbɛga amenya fiti ɛkyerɛ school a mu esi dan a mu si ɛyi blogger John Dramani Mahama breso ɛna mo hyɛ ase no ɛdan na kasiwa ɔha ntitemu bɛ aduokron ɛna ɔma wie a na nka ɔsɛ dan ɔmu tumi wie na nkwala nya kwan ɛkɔ school na no kyerɛ mu sɛ dan ɔmu tumi wie nti ɔsrɛ sɛ afie bɛwura mu no ɔsrɛ sɛ bɛ February bosom ne deɛ ɔmu wie na nkwala ntumi nkosua mu ade ne nyinaa ɛyɛ bra minority eku a ɔmo hwɛ ɛyɛ adesua ho nsɛm so ɛna ɔmo ɛkɔ ne nkyɛn ɛne kɔtwetwe nkɔmɔ de nsɛm tura nim so ɔsrɛ sɛ school na kakra do ɔmo wie timpɛnfo hwɛ no mu nwie prɛko sɛ na bɛyɛ a school for ɛbɛtumi anya akwanya akɔ school.
After senior high education, primary to the senior high education, the next degree that my people have to do is to go to border and go and do what Cairo. No school. The only school that we have again is the RC senior high school that belongs to the Catholic mission. And it's now what a minor seminary. So this thick population have no place to go. And people sit down in that big hall called Parliament. We are thinking of a place after the Tama Harbor. The next revenue generation is from Aplau border. And I have to push the former President Mahama for that structure to be what? Constructed over there. I have to be running from here to Accra. Begging. Should we beg for education? No. There's something happening. If we have to beg for education before our what? People can go to school, then I don't know what is called a democracy at all. I look at the structure standing over there. 90% finished. Yes. Now the teams are having their full days again. Going there, removing everything at will. In the era of the MPP now, we have the free senior high education. And my people are not benefiting because the school is not here. I'm sure by next year, February, new entrants will go to school. So your coming here is the redemption to the suffering people of Aflao. That carry this message to the Minister of Education. That come February, I want this school to be open.
I mean, this particular classroom right here, today, if you put a teacher in there and children there, they should be able to study. So why is it locked? Why are we doing this to ourselves? Why is it that we must be talking NDC era, MPP era, where education is concerned? Teddy Chum, a member of parliament. I feel really sorry for him because I took the trouble to read about him and the fact that he's been in education for as long as his age, perhaps. And for him to find himself in this situation where he's not in a position to do what perhaps he has the capacity to do, I feel sorry for him. He can sugarcoat, marinate, garnish everything that he wants to say about education, but the reality is in our faces. The reality is in the fact that under his watch, children go to school for less than 2 months and they're home. And then they go back and then they're home. Would he put his children through? This is spelling doom. We are at the precipice. Already, my generation and the ones behind me, we see a gap from what we went through and what they went through. And going down the ladder, these ones, they will not have a story.
Yeah, that's why I want minority one approbo na emiamia bi a wodo wani ekyereye ekohwe sa e-block adan bi eye sege I no wo adan afi adan west mensin aplawo womo ekoye agotime zope womo ekoye ni nyina ewo framantem epoye mantem na omdo omani ekohwe na no na Dr. Clement Apak ono eye deputy minority ranking member committee a womo ehwe ehumesua so e no che se wo se ye nhihye papa bi de to se de be ya asa aban bi ko na aban bi ba enkonko ba se project bi ti sei ye be ja ne sa to na mra no wo ho de a hye wo kete se wo be ye ho adwuma.
We are all aware of the inadequacy of infrastructure, which is why the obnoxious double track system was introduced. So when we have structures like this, 90% complete at an original cost of 9 million Ghana cedis, and yet we cannot complete it for students to have access to education, for classroom sizes to be reduced, for communities to have hope that their wards are going to benefit from the free senior high school. Clearly, we cannot forgive government. Because the $1.5 million that GET Fund was securitized to obtain was supposed to help complete what they themselves described as essential educational infrastructure. And they indicated in their memo to Parliament that this was to address the increased number of students who have come on stream as a result of the coming into being of the free senior school policy. So why is this here? Is it that we don't have the money? What have they done with the $1.5 billion that we securitized GET Fund for? Is it not time that they come to Parliament to account to us how many of the critical educational infrastructure they have completed, so that we know that there is value for money? In a community such as this, which doesn't even have a secondary school, Aflao, is it fair?
I am disappointed. I'm at a loss as to what I have to say. Because if you know that your predecessor has invested public funds, why do you abandon the project? Is it a hatred for the people, or it is love? This one is complete hatred.
Yaba enkramemu na yahwe dwumadia ekoso affordable housing dwumadia oman edi na yenya adan ede ama oman ma ne no eno so afọ hwe yensa asensem so eno abosamo abugina podi nsem ato lands commission anim kyerese ensase bi ewo ba bi tise amran a ekwan betumi aba ho na omudi edi sa dwumadia ni bi no mohwe na omunye ho adwuma ntem na ekwan meda ho na omampani na Addo dankwa Akufo-Addo na koma da ho se benya adan ede ama oman ma no.
Onumonyamfo Samuel Abugina po a wono yesuafo hwe ensasesem na afro bade bobrensem so edi empanifo atitiri wa wono efri asoya hodo na afen so lands commission no animu eno omo edi omani ko twa wisi kokohwe amrehiansase a ewo ho no mo a womo hwe se womo sa betimi aka bie na afen so womo di emunsu bi nso ama amrehia busua na womo atimi edi aye affordable housing project no na omanfo nso enya baabi edi ni tirato eho no wo kire se wo hwe asase yantamo a eno no eye be se eka no 1381 ena chese wono ewo sampotem hono mu enti won beji fa na wo ama amrehia ebusua ne nso fa na efei ni ebeka no nso na ne omatimi edi ayembundudwuma ne nya no bebo o my Ghana kankura wode nsem to lands commission no anim se wo ema mo honya hare ewo dwumadie wo edie ni nyina eho na etimi nso aboa dwumadie no a wo nso pese wo eye wasase ne so no ensem no wo bone tofa sei ene kire yen.
Affordable housing is very dear to the president, and he's giving the express instructions, and he's very eager that we develop affordable housing schemes in our country to help with the housing of public officials, public servants, and so on and so on. My understanding and my briefing is that we have some 1,381 acres of land here, and there's a proposal for us to release part of that land to the families, to the Amaria family, and part of it is going to be for the farm, and part of it is going to be freed up for affordable housing. I think we can be upbeat about it and work hard to bring closure to this plan and this proposal. I want to conclude by encouraging the chiefs of Amaria to work together. So, yes, and other villages and allied villages, so that we don't have any form of litigation or misunderstanding. That will just jeopardize the efforts we are trying to make. Because the moment there is a split in the front of these families and chiefs, it becomes a problem. And what I can assure you is that we are working very hard to make sure. My biggest interest is that affordable housing.
Ebusa yenyina we so na yenye aboafo nkrato a edikan yebeba sisia. mamo akwa abaye to akase bono eso a afia etwa mu no na Ghana mampanyi ekoye ekodan ye se Cocoa Farmers Pension Scheme wo mo de be ye adwuma sabre ewo omai mu na no nyame adom Board of Trustees wo mo ebehwe aye nhyehyeye ma Cocoa akuafo wo mo nso enya pension scheme ni bi no mo nya sika kakra ne nyoma kakra afiri mu abra wo mo kọ ahomgie mu no eno so mpanimfo adanedi
Cocoa Farmers Pension Scheme Board of Trustees a womo adan wadie no womo baba behwe na fe womo atimi aboa ma Cocoa Farmers Pension Scheme no botaye no atimi awie pay a wo chese Ghana Cocoa Board womo ene Ghana aban ene womo eso womo asene a womo betimi adi dwumadie ni nyina no womo botaye ne so mbeboa se na ebe ya Cocoa akuafo ne nso womo betimi enya asiachi baabi dia ma womo no womo kwa ahomegye mu a womo ankoye moba wo gidi se ni nyina na benam so na fe Cocoa industry ne nso ene ne keka ho no womo atimi agina womo na so e womo dwumadi a womo ediemu ene womo emo so afenam esu aye no empanifo titiru bi te se tuafo a wo hwe kuya nsam so Dr. Wusu Free Yakoto ena fesuafo sharp ade nsam so monyamfo Ignatius Bafo ewua Cocoa Board titinani Owura Peter Macmenu ena fe Cocoa akuafo ahodo ene empanifo ahodo no mo so de omo gitapa bebeta akire.
When I was 5, I saw somebody working as a farmer and who was between 30 and 40. Then it suggests that that person should be within his 80s. These persons were still living in that village and were still attending to their farms. Obviously, they are old now, they are weak, and they cannot do so many things on their own. Ordinarily, they should be at home resting and perhaps enjoying their pensions. But because of poverty, because they do not have anybody to take care of them, they are forced to be on their farms even at their weak and old age. That is the true nature of the Ghanaian farmer. I want to believe that my colleague, the Honorable Minister for Agric, who is also a farmer and whose parents were equally cocoa farmers, will attest to what I'm saying. And when you go to almost all our cocoa growing regions, districts and villages, you will find quite a number of such persons in our village. What is the hope of these people? If what we are going to observe today were to be there in those days, perhaps after 50, after 60, they will have returned home and enjoyed the sweat of their hard work. So thanks to Nana Addo Akosua.
Since the Cocoa Farmers Pension Scheme will ride on the back of the cocoa management system currently underway, we will work expeditiously to speed up the registration of farmers across the country under the CMS so that every cocoa farmer can register to join the scheme.
And the first cocoa akuafo almost so many more in fear or honey chini. And yes, say, so we cocoa a juma. We akuafo na oko pension say when you need won't mean quite one bewa. I buy in Bichiauka. And no a bibia AC da or maimo. The Hiago draw will be okuta na cocoa, a cocoa a ding to say kufuado. And no timidi sa she abba akuafo.
Your new pension system your Emma a chawamo eka. In the bunch no ebema omo etria skakaka. Into one more no man say and this is did now won't busumbiano. We know your friend of pricing mechanism. Say cocoa menosua not omkotia cocoa noa. Not your tibe from one contribution no. Not your silver momo. Into your own retirement like I say yadamba womo.
Yakwa atomantem no yakọ shama eho na ohene a ohwe shama ne traditional area hoso na kwamna wenu a otosumienu e kirese omo mutu anwane dotere no kurani amna kese omo de aba ho no omo de ha adwen ho pa enti Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources emra emehwere mo ka ho sebesanse ese nyoma na manfo a etete mpatem so no omo nwumadi a omo di no saa dwumadi a saa nipa no edi no ha omo pa
Nia washe chese president amashama na nan matangonyansa se ene de nsem wenyina no eto soafo abedi e kire ohwensa asesem na afei obo ade bobrensem so onmunyamfo George Mekudu kanenim ebra obo anakoko piem wo na hemfie ne nase people na wode nani ko twa bisi kokohwe baabi amanfo no etu anwea ewo honom ene wo kire se wo ba honom omo mutu nwea ewo honom no eyade a ede oha pa na eba beje omapomudensem so enti wonhwe no won kan nsem bi mfamfa homfa mo na timi ayemwa ede amomapomudensem anye se bedu baabi no wan hwe yi a ebe ha wo mo papa
obi fi bebi opale no wa fe on ba asembra manye on bo opera manye no we kihie ebusuafo kakra bi no wa hwe simpo na pessoa nka no ye fane simpo na pessoa ndako akapu bi no hu niskaba no da shi wense amala anhina ra hini ewe paso wo fane pessoa minje bita ane obia ni ho wa kedewo ye tumeyi ntinana je pessoa 1 city common 1 city ndibi na ndidire se chishepa oba ama henso ye bichiri bibi kakra empeni pi na ekwana wo fado wutu yanne yemu onye kra anti nyame na wa ya adu masisi aban ordinary nisifu ama dam sisi orba yana na mofu wa ya na wankasa wo mpo na wo ko na wo ban wo ko radio bi wo wankasa wo dise aba ama nhihye foforo ba fie nya ho
eno hwesuafo be de echi e de ensem atu dwa kire se wo bo ana akoko pie mu e wo ba bia sankrofo no etu anwea ne nyina no hu ne senkrata asem bia ni wono mu a ekura wo mo didi sa adwuma de ne kire se kwati kwan so no mafa wo mo e de etu sa anwea no enti ne manim yi ano wo mo hwese wo mbejaye a wo de ensem bi nso e kan ho a UTV nsentwefo ye je ni sei e de emamu
their task oye this assembly there or invest in Weybridge. And that one, Minerals Commission, ministry, about how best we can assess them to have a Weybridge around. Companies that want to clean, you go to way. 2, companies, so any Ministry of Trade, now your units in Kitahon, there clean waters we are buying them illegally, and they cannot come and condone and connive in illegalities. Also, you want Bakasa. Then you two regulate 1 hour your mining illegally, you two are regulating your mining responsibly. I'm excited there. Dissect. I met Dissect. So they are happy.
Afe yanko asante mantemare ho sembi a efri ho eba echese enra asembi esiye ebra poti asem ni siye de yentumi enchiremu asem ni nyina ne se yese na wotwe ntemni ukọ asante mantema wonmo a wom ye bambofo eno private company security fo ni bi mienu ena konfaremfo ya bo wonum etuo baako a esi enra de echese papa ye frɛ na agya no na adwumakuo bi ena na wo boban ewo ho a wo mo ekekere papa yi abonutu akuno na wo mo di sika bese 98,000 Ghana cedis adwane na emu asem ni mu nkyeremu de yera Samson kwa menyame che wa homa ne so a obechechiri mu brasame ma joy
menya ba mejo so
bibia boko de
o nyame na do
wadaro ma wutietie mu no sen na isitie pa
yo Akosua se na ewusi kan ye no adwumakuo yi your friend A2 Enterprise or more a Santa say Cocobain and better one na aluminium ijuma and or more a year. And a dear exchange a yanwa and a seminal is see. Send else you can say is see a dear reporting the but you should say Anado and a see and Ura or no yes security I was Jumakuya friend A2 Enterprise. Bosom Pim Ando, Onya Mfie Edianine and 49 years. Or no crap, what they say, or yes, creating a tonja, or much as or Sai Ubia, or Boa, or Roka, a year washing baby, a was some patamon. Now, we knew quite fast, so a month for a crown for, et me a copy monoma, or more a codriano. A year, a Juma Kuno. Na almost save near this sika egum almost far save na de koi
almost far safe nankasa de koi omo emu
omo de koi
okay okay
any generator e wo ɛyɛ adwuma no ɔmo fa ne mmienu ɛde kɔɛ.
Okay.
So far deɛ yate no na wohwɛ adwuma wura na ɛyɛ Mr. Ochi Stephen Ochi ɔno ɛna ɛyɛ manager ɛde ma saa shop yi Stephen Ochi ɔno ɛkyerɛ sɛ sika a ɛwɔ save no ɔmo susu hwɛ a bɛyɛ 89,000 Ghana cedis na ɔmo de kɔ na nyɛ sika no kɛkɛ ɔmo de kɔɔyɛ na ɛyɛ mmerɛ a amanfoɔ adeɛ kyi amanfoɔ hu yɛ na kyerɛ sɛ owurɛ yi ɔmo kunu ayɛwosɛm sɛ ɔmo akyekyere ne nsa koraa gu ne akyi ɔmo atwere gu baabi nti na ɔmo yɛ saa ansa na ɔmo tumi wura shop hɔ a ɔmo tumi yɛ saa nyambransɛm yi a sisi a mekasa polisifoɔ yɛ nhwehwɛmu na sisi a mene mo kasa deɛ ɛnyɛ ade a polisifoɔ atumi anya wɔ biara den aso ne mu nti no wote yɛ a saa na teɛ adwumakuo no A2 Enterprise ɛno wɔ ahenema kɔkɔbɛn anaasɛ santaase kwɛmɔ no kɔkɔbɛn nti no saa na teɛ security officer na wɔn mo kuno ɛna wɔn fa generator ɛna wɔn fa save na save na wɔn de kɔɔyɛ no sika adwumakuo manager no ɛkyerɛ sɛ sika bɛyɛ 89,000 Ghana cedis ɛna na ɛwɔ.
Na same wohwɛ papa yi a security man yi etuo na wɔn de bɔɔ no anaasɛ kyekyere na wɔn kyekyere no ebi a wɔn eburo bi ana
wohwɛ a wɔn sisi a deɛ wɔn sɛ kyesɛ polisifoɔ no hwɛ emu no mmarima nkɔhwɛ emu no so yɛ ti yɛ na kyesɛ ɛyɛ ade a polisifoɔ no yɛ de ɛde kɔ na wohwɛ a ɛnyɛ ɛborɔ nkɔhara a wɔn wɔ no sɛ kan na deɛ ɔka no sɛ etuo koraa ɛbɛbɛ mu a gyesɛ polisifoɔ no hwɛ yi ebi sɛ wɔn yɛ no wɔn kyekyere no na nyɛ sɛ wohwɛ a wɔn kyekyere no sɛ wɔn kyekyere no koraa nsa koraa mpo na wɔn ku no ɛno so ne nyinaa gyesɛ ebi a polisifoɔ no yɛ nhwehwɛmu ɛwɔ emu na ɔmɔde akɔto ayaresabea no nti ɛno ɛna mɛtumi aka.
Yɛbɛda ase ɛne amanebɔ yɛ gidi paa sɛ wobɛtoa so a na de aposifoɔ nso bɛka no yɛbɛnya mu ɛnteyɛ. Yɛwura Samson Kwame Nyamekyɛ ɛna de amanebɔ ifiri asantemantam ɛbrɛ yɛnyɛ no nko a yɛsɛ saa akromfoɔ kuro yi nso yɛnya ne nteyɛ sɛ wɔn san kɔbɔ wura ECG adwumakuo bi mu a ɛno so sika bi a wɔn de ɛkɔ yɛ mpo no wɔn ntumi ehunu ano a ne nyinaa no aposifoɔ ɛyɛ mu ɛhwehwɛ mu.
Na yɛ ho na yɛnsa enye nkratoɔ mmra yɛba de aka bia no yɛreba wɔn ɛwɔ kasebo yi ɛso.
shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Freedom. Freedom.
Uzafa munyina kwaba eba kase boron so yetwa so na yedayani na yakwa kopimu ewo Kaneshi Circuit Court eho ena nei court eko asate atenase eko kansem na ensem no mu no jeja nei otenase ehwe ensem no eye Kofi Oheneba Kufuo ena kwaduboni so ASP Sylvester Asare ni nyina ne se abrante a ne din de Benson Nana Yaw Odro Boatin na nintahu din anase na hotedin no eye funny face ono nsem na court ikotena ase ekodiye na ni nyina ne se abrante eko Instagram abefo kwantimpon so eko kansem se ema mienu a ono mo atenada ba ko ye mpratwe awo apiemu oba one na wo ntafo eye Vanessa ena oba ba ko ne de eko aware ankasa 2017 a efreni Lezi o kire se sa ma mienu obeje omun kwanfiri omun nsem owi a na wasen ne ho na no ena court no ebo ne kwadu no ogitu mu se nsem omo ka no court nche se de obeye oho ne nioma chekire oho no ka che court ne se o wa lawyer fo nanso hwe nsem na ekoso no a ena odi ne nsem aba enti ohia se lawyer ni bia ebedi nachi na no ena kwadu bofo no kire esre court ne se beye a abranti ye ncheye ena ye ne court se yenkwa hwe na dwimu ewo psychiatric hospital nti ebeye a yema kwan na yensan enkwa hwe na dwimu biem na de twaso biem kra ne se abrante san agitu mu se ampa okọ psychiatric hospital ne nuru ede ma no wagya ifa nti ama enioma ensisi so se de court no so ka se ohwe ne kasa mu ne enioma obeda na di ewo court wo na enya ade enioma ehyeda esisu papa enti court no eye temuafo no e kire se yemfa nko na yenkwa hwe na dwum ne nyame ya adoma bosu ebewre mu de to so du onsamra na yemehwe asem ebiem enti abrante a ne din edi Benson Nana Yaw Odro Boatin a ye friend funny face no sabe de ye de ne kwa akokọ hwe na dwum na bosu ebewre mu de to so edu wasan aba begina mranim ewo Kaneshi Circuit Court.
Yetwa kasebo no eso abese nene nansanie na asemba ko a nene nso gine ho entre ha ene se Charles ni ama adodo na nim se friend Shatawale obi abudutu asemi bede adwa na ama omamfo eyem hyehye wo mo titiri pa SM fans no mani abre ye pa na abrantie ba ko a wono ehyeda edi nachi wono na de asem yi ebetu dwa efiti ase se wode tutu ni status ene Twitter se ne boss Shatawale ya bonutu na asem yi ba ye fanko ye famra hwehwemu ko ye no na chese kamia ye se we na nye no kre e ma Shatawale na nkasa baaye ebe kan se ampane ampa opa ne fans nyina acha opa Ghana fo acha se asem no enye no kre ayam hyehye a wode to nkrofo hunti enam so ma aposifo e kire se wo mo hwehwe no enti wono a kire se wono ade ne ho koma aposifo nra emfonyina ehunu ye ne ye de handcuff agu ne nsa a yache Shatawale na enei ebe wie mu aba nwumre yesi o Shatawale ye gya no UTV ye hwehwemu e kire se Shatawale ye nya no woda so awa aposifo akache na die kokosi ye ne se aposifo de no ko no ankasa ne fie ekobo search wo ho ehwe ye ansa ena omo de no esan eba ya sabre ya ye kasa yi woda so wo aposifo kukumu aposifo kire se wo mo awie wo mo hwehwemu kakra se se wo mo ye de ne kogina court ma de court beka no afa wo ma toa so e de afiri ho enti kian ne ken e bia nyame ya adom ochina wode Shatawale bekwa kogina court na de bekoso no abrante friend Nana Addo wono eye ni pie ni abrante o ye nipa mienu ye chi wo mo ansa na Shatawale nso ede ne ho ekono o nyina wa aposifo kokum sa abrei wo mo guso eye hwehwemu de afa ensemi ho ye kasa ye ide Shatawale say opane fans fo ne Ghana fo nyina achew
Sherry ya chi dipa mienu na ye ba ko abo ba ko freedom na ba ko de freedom ne ma freedom ana ba ko so mnya ye musician so
yes but won say yi omo ankasa kra omo mienu nyina omo konyom dada oh yes but omo mienu kra omo onyom dada nti say dey say Shatawale
ba ko de ka say ba ko de
well yen hwe say ye da ya bi aba ko be ba ja ba ko
kejebi yen kan ye bi
Aya ni ade kasefo no esiemidi ede Akosua Sarpong mene
Anim Addo.
Yamam.